Steve Chewin, MMA Mania.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead, Steve.
The champion, Ryan Darth Bader. It's good to talk to you again today. How are you doing?
You too. I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm excellent, and I'm really excited about this first title defense you're going to be making at Bellator 186. So how does it feel to be coming in as the champ instead of the challenger?
It feels good, but at the same time, it doesn't feel any different. You know, it's just one of those things where I've always kind of taken it cliche, but you take it one fight at a time. You look at who you got in front of you, you go in and game plan and go out to beat that guy. You know, so if the belt's on the line or if it isn't, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to go in there and give my all and whatnot. But does feel good. There's a little chip on your shoulder. You know, you got that belt you want to keep and add to your collection there. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I think it's going to work out well, you know, for myself and the fans. And it's one of those things that trained hard. I'm healthy. Time to do it.
Now, when you look back at your performance at the Bellator NYC in June, how close do you feel the fight was? Because, again, with Phil Davis, it was another split decision.
Yeah, it was close. You know, I felt like I definitely did more damage, got a few takedowns in there. He's just a weird guy to fight, you know, and it's one of those things where that's for a title. You know, that's for a goal that I've had forever, you know, and with him, you start getting reckless and, you know, you make a mistake and he's going to win that fight. He's going to take you down. He's going to get position like he has in every other one of his fights, you know, and people don't beat that guy, you know, and so got the job done there. It was a close fight, but ended up taking two wins away from him and the belt. So we'll move on, and I'll probably see him later down the line again.
You might even see him later in the night because he's fighting on the same card against Leo Leidy. So what do you think about that, the fact that he's kind of dogging your heels here on this card?
You know, it is what it is. You know, they're the cards at Penn State, you know, so we knew that they're going to be there. And, you know, I know Phil. We're friends, and it's one of those things where we're competitors too. So we both want the same thing. We're in the same division. It is what it is. You know, I wish best of luck to him. And, like I said, we'll probably see each other again because I believe he's, you know, one of the next best guys in that division.
Right now, the next best guy is going to be Linton Vassell. So what is your opinion of him as an opponent? Somebody that, unlike Phil, you've never actually fought before.
Yeah, no, that's good. You know, and, you know, I feel he's kind of well-rounded. He's good everywhere. You know, you know, he's beating some decent people. You know, I don't feel he's fought the level of competition I have. You know, yeah, he's kind of good everywhere. Not great in one particular area. But it's one of those fights where it's going to be, I believe it's going to be kind of action-packed. You know, he kind of brings that style, and that can definitely open up on him. So definitely look forward to it.
What did you think of his fight with Liam McGeary with the multiple amount of takedowns he was getting? Obviously, not a wrestler of your caliber, but it did look pretty good. Yeah,
you know, he has some decent takedowns. He's long. You know, Liam McGeary isn't really known at all for his takedown defense, so you got to take that into account there. But yeah, I mean, he's you know, I welcome him to try to take me down. You know, Phil Davis couldn't, and other wrestlers couldn't, so I hope he does.
Well, that was definitely one of the most telling things at Bellator NYC is I saw Phil repeatedly going for takedowns and getting stuffed, and I could tell it was starting to eat him up a little bit as those rounds ticked by.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, you know, where, you know, Phil's a phenomenal wrestler, and he's phenomenal on top, you know, and that's what we trained for. We didn't want him to be on top of us. We didn't want to give him that, make that mistake and have him capitalize on that. So, you know, in coming into this fight, we have our things that we've trained a ton on, we've watched tapes, you know. One of the things that we did have to dive into is we didn't know Linton at all as far as his fighting style or anything like that. So we had to definitely jump into watching more tape than usual. You know, with Phil, I fought him before. I've watched him throughout his UFC career and whatnot, so I kind of knew what to expect. With Linton, I don't at all. You know, so and it's a good thing too.
But at least you have, now as a Bellator fighter, access to that library and to see all of the many fights Vassell has had here, including once challenging for the title before against Emmanuel Newton. So what do you think about the fact he's challenging for a second time now?
Yeah, he's earned it. You know, he's beat some tough guys. You know, Sumo, I think he's been hurt and whatnot. I was supposed to fight him in the NYC card, but, you know, it's just, that's one of the things. He went and beat one of the former champions. He's on a 3-fight win streak, you know, so they put him in there, and it's just, it doesn't really matter to me who's in, if it's King Mo, Linton Vassell, or whoever it is, we'll be ready. And I'm always training to be the best and keep this belt.
What has the training been like since you got the belt? Has it changed up at all, or has it stayed pretty much constant to what you were already doing?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, so as we've evolved over my career, with wins and losses, what I need to work on. And we've come to a point now where, I almost have 30 fights in my career, and most of them at the highest levels, and, travel around the world. So I have my routine pretty much down. I know what to do to feel my best. And so, what we do is we just do, maybe I tweak where we do a lot more drilling, and, that's helped a lot. Been doing that past probably 3 fights, and, bringing in some different guys. I've brought in a UFC veteran and Francois Barroso to come in and have a dedicated training partner and somebody new basically to spar and whatnot. So little things, but pretty much the same fundamentals and foundation.
You did mention it being almost 30 fights in your career now. Are you starting to feel the aches and pains even when you're not in there in the gym training?
Not at all. I feel good. Probably feel the best I've ever felt. At this training camp and my last training camp, you make it to the end and you're like, man, still knocking on wood. We got a couple of days left, but I feel, I got out of there scot-free, injury-free, so, that's good. That's good to feel, when you have a little something nagging or this and that. So to be, going there with full confidence in your body and in your mind. But I felt great. I'm 34 years old. I've had almost 35, but I feel like I'm just in my prime, feeling good, healthy, and, that's the changes in diet and whatnot, but, I feel good.
So easily another 5 or 10 years, depending on how long you want to keep going and how long you hold the title.
Oh, I got another 5 in me for sure. Yeah, 10, maybe not 10, but.
You're not looking to go out there and be the next Dan Henderson then?
Yeah, I don't want to fight when I'm 44 years old. You never know, though. Who knows?
Right. Who knows? If the right offer comes along and it's really good, you're still feeling great, who knows?
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's talk about this fact that it's at Penn State. And, of course, Phil Davis is going to have a lot of his friends there. So do you think you're going to get a hostile reception when you come out for that main event?
I don't know. I'm a British guy. Come on now. But, I'm a former wrestler, and, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where, yeah, it could be because, Phil Davis is from there and beat him the last fight. So it could be kind of hostile, or I'm the American wrestler and fighting a British dude. So who knows? I don't know what to expect.
Right. It could go either way. It could be USA versus Britain, or it could be Penn State versus the world. We don't know until you get there.
I know. You never know. But I'm fine with both. I've fought all over the world, in Brazil, against Brazilians and all that, so it doesn't bother me one bit.
Well, speaking of Brazilians, Davis's opponent is a Brazilian from Rio de Janeiro, 10-0. Have you had a chance to look at Leo Lighty at all and see if he's a good opponent for Phil?
No, I have not. And I haven't really seen much of him at all. So I don't really know what to expect, and I don't think Phil did either. So he's kind of doing the same thing I was doing, studying tape and figuring it out, and then I'm sure he'll do just fine with him, though.
Yeah, well, he sure seems confident, but he always does. So you do as well. You sound extremely confident about this fight, this training camp and everything, and I'm assuming the weight cut's been really good to you as well.
Yeah, the weight cut's never been a problem. I'm sitting at 218 right now without even doing anything. I feel good. I feel confident. I feel, I've been here a million times, so it's just one of those things for us. Show up, do your media stuff, and go out there and fight. Do the damn thing, and that's it. It got to that point where I've had enough fights where I know what to expect and know how my body and mind react. So kind of one of those things where it's no big deal now, even though you're playing for a world title, defending title, and all that good stuff that goes with it. It's another fight for me. It's another job.
Well, it's another fight, but it is another big fight because it's the main event of Bellator 186. But like you said, you've been in main events before, so it's not really any more pressure than you've already had in your career.
Not at all. When I fought on my beginning of my career on the undercards of UFC and whatnot, there's just much amount of pressure, that I put on myself, wanting to do well for the coaches, all that stuff. So, for me, it doesn't matter if you're fighting, defend a world championships, you're fighting to get a world championship like my last fight. I was cool, collected, felt good. So, going to be more the same.
Well, we know Spike TV likes to put on a show with these big cards. Are you going to do anything special for your entrance as the champ here at Bellator 186?
I think it'll be similar as last time. Nothing too crazy. I didn't even get to see it last time, so I don't even know what that means. But, pretty much, I'll let my work in the cage do the talking, but they always put on a good production regardless. So.
Well, speaking of doing the talking, who's going to be cornering you on Friday night?
Yeah, I got my usual. Had a few, different guys. I got Jair Lorenko. Got my brother-in-law I know who I've had forever. He kind of coordinates everything. I got the Fred Barbaroso, from Brazil, the training partner I brought up, and then I have my strength coach, Jason Kamen. So kind of the same crew that was there last time.
All right. Well, then it sounds like everything is in place. You got the usual crew, the usual training, made a couple of minor tweaks, and it sounds like you're ready to go and defend that title.
Yes, sir.
All right.
2 more days, we're ready to do it.
Okay. Well, any parting words for the Swarm? Any words of warning or words of encouragement or whatever you want to say to him?
Yeah, not much. Just he was talking a little smack on social media and all that, and he's been out more than cute and show him what this next level is all about, and look forward to it.
All right, the next level comes next Friday night, but before that, let's get some plugs. Ryan, what do you want to promote, or social media, whatever you got?
Yeah, I'm at Ryan Bader pretty much on all social media. Shout out to my other business, Juby sold Nutrition Tank. It's tryjuby.com, tryjubi.com. And that's about it. Check out everything else on my social media.
Yes, and check out Bellator 186, University Park, Bryce Jordan Center, the main event, Ryan Bader defending the title against Linton Vassell on November 3rd. Ryan, thank you so much for the time today. It's always a pleasure.
Same here. Thank you.
Yep, and thank you, Dan, as well.